The Nintendo Switch is one of the fastest selling consoles of all time, and for good reason. Combines an amazing library with extreme functionality of a home console which you can take on the go. Tingles with flyby. Daily ASMR videos. Hello and welcome to our Nintendo Switch store. Right here in Tingledom. We like to focus our shops on one specific thing so that we can have expertise in that area and so you can have the precise experience you're looking for when you come into our shops. So you won't find any other games, you won't find any other systems. It's all about the Switch here. That being said, of course, working here, I'm quite passionate about the Switch. That's why I'm the one who's here. I love this system and I love getting to share this amazing system with people every day. The Nintendo Switch was released on March 3rd, 2017. As we can see, it has a handheld component to it, but it is truly considered a hybrid console in that it can also be docked and used as a home console. So you can use it in this formation and the image will then connect up to your regular screen. It has HD 1080p graphics. But if you like, even in the middle of a game, you can lift it out and the image that was just on your TV will now be on your portable screen and you can play the game in this format. It is truly remarkable. It's the first console of this kind. Nintendo tried out a bit of this concept with their Wii U console, but this really has lots more functionality. This can be played on the plane, in the car, on the toilet. It's a well-kept, well, maybe not the best-kept secret, but lots of people do that. It's just a wonderful machine. Nintendo also made sure to build this system with components that would make it very easy to develop for, so that third-party support would be much better. they found a lack of third-party support is potentially why the Wii U did not do as well as they had anticipated. But within the first year, the Nintendo Switch had over 320 titles from both first and third party and independent developers, where Nintendo had only projected 100, so over 3 times as many titles. Been a lot of hype around the Switch in 2 parts. First, because of this unique functionality of this system, caters to a bit different market than the other major players in the video game systems. It was also bolstered by amazing first-party games. The launch of the Nintendo Switch coincided with The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, which was a very fanatical and embraced game at the time, taking Zelda, that popular franchise, and applying those principles to an open world game. Really brought a lot of fans into this game system and into this world. There have been 5 first-party games put out by Nintendo, which have sold over 10 million units each. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Pokemon Let's Go. Now, let me show you in a little bit more detail everything that comes with this system out of the box. So, we've obviously seen the main console, which holds the screen. Up on the top, we have a power button. We also have plus and minus for volume buttons. So this could be used in the portable mode when it's on your television. That would be controlled by your TV. We also have a slot for a game card. I think we have a demo in here right now. We have Super Smash Bros. There right now. You can see they come in a nice cartridge. These are designed by Nintendo to help prevent piracy, but they do also offer all of their games for online download. We have a fan here to help vent off the heat of the system, a 3.5mm jack so you can plug in your own personal headphones. We also have a kickstand on the back here. This can be used when you can use it like so. Remove your Joy-Cons and you can use it almost like TV mode, but out in a portable space. We'll get into that a little bit more when we look at the Joy-Cons themselves. We have 2 speakers on the back and a separate charging dock right here. This connects into here, but you can also plug it directly into the wall should you need to. Now let's look at our Joy-Cons themselves. We have our left Joy-Con. This one you can see is in this beautiful bright blue. We have a joystick, a minus button, and a 4 single button D-pad. You also have a screenshot button. There are 2 shoulder buttons, an L and an LZ. On the back we have this button, which helps to release when taking it from the console. There are also these buttons. These buttons here, this helps to sync up your Joy-Con with your system should you need to. But these are like so. So you could actually use these as 2 separate controllers. And then these would be your shoulder buttons. And there are certain games which take advantage of that functionality in multiplayer nature. On our right Joy-Con, we have a plus button, our X, Y, A, B, the ever classic Nintendo buttons. We have a second joystick and a home button. Of course, have corresponding shoulder buttons with a right and an L and a ZR button. And then up, when turned in this way, you have these additional buttons. Now with the Joy-Cons, if you are using them separately, you can also use them with these to protect the metallic components. And it also gives you a wrist strap so you can make sure it won't drop while you're playing with it. This also gives you larger buttons on the shoulder button if playing in this configuration. You can lock it with this addition on, or pull this gray tab down, and that will unlock it. Use the button at the back, and it will release. There is a plus and a minus. This can be used on either Joy-Con, but we'll show you which side you want. They should match together, plus with plus, or minus with minus, like so. Now the other option you have is this gamepad. So your Joy-Cons can fit seamlessly into this gamepad, and you have a large rounded square controller with handles to increase the ergonomic comfort of using your system. Can you have easy access to all your buttons still? It's just a bit more comfortable because you have these to hold your hands around, so your hands don't get fatigued with your hours of endless enjoyment. You can see prominently displayed on this is the Nintendo Switch logo right here in the center. And then on the back we have the classic Nintendo logo right here. There's also a little hook so you can hang this up should you so desire. So those are our Joy-Cons. They just go back together like so, quite easily. Now let's look a little closer at our dock. Again, we see that Nintendo Switch logo right here on the front. It's a very cute, simple logo, elegant. The dock is all in black, the Nintendo logo at the back. And then you have connections for your AC adapter, USB, and your HDMI out. The Switch comes basic with the AC adapter and the HDMI. So those would come in your box. And then they can hook up and come out here. But they still look elegant behind, being covered up by this nice sturdy piece of plastic. We also have little feet on the bottom to avoid slipping. Now all of your items will come in a box such as this. Your Switch all inside. This pictured, you can see, is the other color configuration, which I also have shown inside this case. This is a first party case. There are a variety of cases that you can get. Just show you this one, and then I'll show you the Switch itself. You can see it has the Nintendo Switch logo. We also have one for specific games, Splatoon, Mario. The Zelda Sheikah Slate one is really cool. So they just have a nice zip around the outside, so your system can stay secure. It's got this lovely soft fabric on the inside to protect your system. The other benefit of this particular case is that it also assists with holding your game system up if you want to play it out and about. There have been some complaints about the kickstand. One of the few complaints with this amazing system. So a case like this can be really great if you do want to use that functionality, because it has this piece which will hold the system up quite well. So let us look. You can see the Nintendo Switch comes in a few different varieties. You can see here the bright hot orangish red color and the hot blue, or you can get it in a classic and sleek all black and gray coloring. There's also ones with bright yellow Joy-Cons, and I'm sure we'll have many more colors to come. But I still prefer that nice classic black look. It's just gorgeous, isn't it? And obviously everything else is much the same. Now let's move on to our games. Obviously, we spoke about one of the popular titles, which was The Legend of Zelda. We also have here Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is the latest in this very popular line of games, where you get to to see all of your Nintendo favorites come together and battle it out. And I've also just got on display right now the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, a funky new mode. And these come just with a nice little mini cartridge. So if you really like to have your physical media, then these can be a lovely option. Obviously they can be on-sold, whereas your digital library cannot as much. Let's have this beautiful poster that comes with the Breath of the Wild. How beautiful is that? This poster is exclusive when you buy the cartridge. Just gorgeous. And then the full painting of the cover. It's beautiful. Now, as I said, there is a large library of games available for the Switch, and we do have all of them. So I don't like to overwhelm you because there are currently 1,359 games for the Switch. So it would be impossible to go through them all. But just know that every single game works with the Nintendo Switch functionality. You can play it on your TV and then play it in hand. And the user experience is completely seamless. There is online play available as well through a subscription to Nintendo for a variety of games such as Mario Kart and the like. But this is just a wonderful ecosystem of games, and I think you'll really be able to delve in and enjoy what you find if you decide to get your feet wet in the world